Welcome to the Green Ring, and thanks for watching. This video is first in a series of intermission features between Die Walküre and Siegfried, during the channel's note-by-note analysis of Wagner's Der Ring des Nibelungen from first page to last. Please do leave a like and or add comment, even subscribe to the channel, any of these being so vital to the YouTube algorithm which keeps this one-of-a-kind enterprise afloat. The Green Ring introduces many syntactic innovations crowded among those traditional analysis has identified as leitmotifs or motifs. This commentary prefers to take Wagner at his word, who thought of his music's functionality as parallel to that of spoken and written language. Through the large web of themes which dominate all four works, a language has been created of which the world as yet knows nothing. Rather than confuse the issue by adopting in place of musical terms linguistic ones, such as noun, verb, preposition, prefix, suffix, the Green Ring refers to the longest of the tetralogy's syntactic elements as morphemes, shorter constituents, modules, the shortest, cells. Since no previous analysis has recognized these elements, and as they play so prominent a role in this exhaustive analysis, special attention is devoted to them at this midpoint, giving those who follow the arguments it presents a clearer grasp both as they move forward and when revisiting prior chapters. The Meister employs interval leaps with a precision unknown in the overall musical literature, nonetheless building on well-accepted conventions in both musical theory and historical practice. This video concentrates on his employment of sevenths to advance his narrative purposes. The seventh is an unusual interval. Its dissonance a prime mover in cadential formulae, which in melodic movement imparts a sense of yearning for resolution. Cook locates it in three ring morphemes he identifies by name, all three musical ideas generally recognized by the majority of analysts, what Cook dubs domestic bliss, redemption, and Brunhilde as mortal woman. He describes all three as embodying woman's inspiring power. The Green Ring posits Erda as the source of all inspiration, her daughter Brunhilde locus of redemption, and Brunhilde as mortal woman, while Fricka must be considered a natural deity as well, who introduces domestic bliss. Newman believes Wagner makes an error of revision when, in Das Rheingold Scene 2, Wotan tells Fricka, dich zum Weib zu gewinnen. Mein eines Auge setz ich Werben daran. Spencer Millington explained this isn't the contradiction Newman believes it to be. Whichever are correct, what can't be avoided is neither explanation negates Fricka as a nature deity closely tied to Erda and the world ash. This analysis argues Spencer Millington take license in their translation by rendering mein eines Auge as my one remaining eye, when the phrase precisely translates to my one eye. As such, it can be interpreted as the eye he stakes for his drink at the Well of Wisdom under the great tree in the shadow of Erda's daughters, the Norns, an exchange which wins him Fricka. In Cook's words, Wotan's drink from the well, enabling him to cut from the tree the spear of world domination through law, inevitably brought him a wife like Fricka. Based on this interpretation, the Green Ring posits that all instances of sevenths, whether rising or falling, telegraph the Earth Mother working behind the scenes to inspire characters and events, driving them towards her own mysterious ends. As fire god, Loge is of needs a primal nature spirit, whom Cook views not as a villain but a symbol of mind in its demonic aspect, as a source of ideas and inspiration. It would not be going too far to describe Loge as the god of truth. Based on these ideas and Loge's involvement as a foreground character in Das Rheingold, continued throughout the epic thanks to his omnipresent music, this analysis views him as her foreground operative. An important morpheme associated with the fire god, Cook dubs scheming, its backbone the seventh. Newman objects that Wagner deploys it as a generic mark of cunning. Like most analysts, he hasn't sufficiently examined text and music, nor grasped Loge's ties to Erda. The scheming morpheme connotes not cunning in general, but the fire sprite's specific influence on the thoughts and actions of others. Tradition's misreading can only be laid at Wagner's feet, who stintingly deploys the morpheme after its first occurrence in Das Rheingold until it surrounds Mime insidiously in Siegfried. Yet its seventh descent unmistakably identifies it as an aspect of Erda's influence through Loge's demonic powers of inspiration. Despite his keenly insightful analysis of the ring's morphology, Cook skims within millimeters of a key intervallic relationship between scheming and the ring morpheme, yet unaccountably misses it. He observes scheming derives from the ring's harmonic basis, even providing an illustrating example. Yet he seems unaware its key element is the seventh interval descent uniting the two morphemes. This detail reinforces a conclusion drawn by the Green Ring, which is doubtlessly among its most controversial. Specifically, it posits Loge as the Rhine Maiden's unnamed father, whose instructions regarding the Rheingold he leaves intentionally vague in order for them to unwittingly annoy Albrecht into stealing it, thus forge the ring. Scheming first sounds as Wotan defends Loge with the words, Reiche Wicht seines Rates wert, sallt es zögernd hinaus. The advice Loge then doles out primarily concerns the ring's massive power and how to acquire it, with no mention of the dire consequences. It certainly appears Loge deliberately railroads Wotan into a quandary whose repercussions spread across the epic to ultimately result in his death. The Green Ring examines this controversial position in far more detail. For the moment, a look at the seventh's employment reinforces its role as an inspirational marker. Albrecht is inspired by the Rhine Maiden's beauty, while they're moved to torment him. Fricka dreams of her perfect abode, while Loge fruitlessly attempts to goad Wotan's better nature. Siegmund, the god's demigod innovation, enters to the interval, then mulls whether to pursue his budding relationship with Sieglinde, which he subsequently determines to do. Hunding grasps his wife as key to snaring the Welsung, while Wotan attempts to reconcile Fricka to his children's love, then keens his grief on realizing he must forsake them. He grasps his fatal flaw was keeping the ring instead of giving it back to the Rhine Maidens, though Sigmund mistakenly believes he'll defeat Hunding, an error Brunhilde seeks to correct by rescuing Sieglinde, who carols her gratitude with the seventh plunge, a deed the Valkyrie follows by inspiring her father to surround her sleep with shielding terrors with the seventh lift. This is as far as I'll examine instances of this module until moving forward to Siegfried and Götterdämmerung, where it continues to have a significant impact on the work's syntax. My hope is this short video gives you a more complete idea of what I believe are its associative ramifications. Thank you again so much for watching, and do please hit the like button, leave a comment, and if you found this worthwhile, subscribe for the rest of what will be an epic journey. Any and or all are so important to the YouTube algorithm. Oh, and a little donation to my Patreon account would be a huge help in completing this massive work.